Huh? All right.
Okay, that was sus. Just like
I,
coming off the mic, just choking.
like as soon as I started biting into the biscuit, like it was
That was
like
your first
fight
mistake.
back.
That was your mistake.
uh, it's so dry. I forgot how dry this thing is. But can I get a do over? Can I restart? Did Ray die?
No.
Okay.
No,
Fuck.
I lagged for a second, but I'm here. I heard you choking on a Popeyes biscuit like the meme.
Oh god, this is so bad. I'm sorry. Quick mukbang. Stop smiling at my suffering, okay? Anyway, before I run out of oxygen, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Dylan Freddy, aka Color Sauce, back like you never left, and welcome to episode 2 of season 4 of the Sauce Talks. Woo! Yeah. So
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and get to introductions. You already know who I am. I guess the life update. I have work as soon as I finish the show, so it's gonna be a short night.
It is.
So yeah, not too short, but you know.
I didn't realize they made you work this late.
Well,
Now that I think about that again.
I kind of signed up for it, and it didn't hit me until like a few days ago, and I was just like.
So what you're saying is you did this to you.
Technically, but no.
Technically.
So, all right, enough about me suffering for like the next 7 hours. Let's go ahead and pass it on to Miss Megan.
No life updates really. I just have like a huge zit on my cheek and it's annoying the heck out of me. So if you see me like rubbing my face, that's why.
Do I have to punch it? Can I punch it?
I wish you can. Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those zits that are like huge, but it's just like it's deep into the skin. It feels like I'm like, oh no. I'm trying everything. So if y'all have like some like quick acne freaking hacks, let me know that's safe. Because
Just pour lemon juice on it.
Yeah.
lemon juice. Well, that helps with scarring. I heard. And I do have an acne scar like right here because I picked with it too much. So
It's
for this
something
one,
to do with
like,
acidity.
yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, cool.
Just just melting your face off pretty much, you know, to get rid of it. So
Fun fact, lemon juice is good for helping with spice, like when you're eating.
That's
Interesting.
Because
interesting.
it
I didn't know
basically what's the word? It basically kills the cell, like the spice that is in your mouth.
I didn't know that. So that was your cooking tip with Ray. Catch him next week, and he's gonna teach us how to lubricate a ham. So okay, sorry. Okay, Ray, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Hey, it's Ray, disgusted by the phrase "lube a ham."
It's not that bad.
You said worse. I'll give you that.
That is true. I have said.
You'll probably say worse tonight.
Oh God.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't really think I have much of a life update besides like what I'm playing currently video game wise. Dylan, this is relevant to you, well, vaguely because you play the game. I finally got like all 5 rolls to 90 on Final Fantasy, so now I'm just about to spam the roll quests.
You, sir, have no social life whatsoever.
I do it after work.
Barely.
Yeah, you said barely. Nah,
Especially on Tuesday night.
Yeah, Tuesday night. We are your social life. Okay,
are,
look at
exactly.
me.
Y'all are my social life.
I'm the captain now.
Dylan, you should see my free company. Holy shit, they play that game way more than I do.
Yeah, mine's a crackhead. So, but
Real shit.
I need it.
Other than that, I'm just still doing this, waking up at 5 a.m. and doing king cakes until 2 p.m. shit.
That's fucking tragic.
Oh boy. Yeah.
It is what it
So
is.
yeah, it's gotta be an early night for all of us. We got work shit to do. Adulting.
Shout out corporate America.
Capitalism.
Capitalism. Talk about socialism. Wait, we can't say that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into this episode. But I do want to preface this this beginning part. It's definitely gonna be a little bit more serious than our normal takes, gags, and whatever you want to call it. I wanted to discuss about mental health and just how important it is for you to be in a healthy mental state. With that being said, if you don't know who Regina King is, iconic black actress, she have done many great works. One of the more notable ones is she voices Riley off the Boondocks, of course. So
And she voiced Huey too.
and Huey. I always remember Riley, but I always forget Huey. But she voices both of those. Her son, Ian Alexander Jr. Committed suicide and passed away, as thus. And it's kind of one of those things. He's definitely he's like a year younger than me, I think, and it's kind of shocking that even you being in I guess a position of like wealth and fame, that like things can really get dark, I guess you should say. So first, to start off, my condolences to the King estate, in their hard time, because stuff like that is it's really hard to deal with. With that being said, I do want to get into just a conversation about mental health, especially in the black community. So first, I want to start off with: do you think where do you think we are at in recognizing mental health as being a serious issue in our community?
I think we're getting better. We're getting a lot better, especially like a lot of us were grew up was like kind of like keep it to yourselves. If you grew up in the church, it was prayed away, and it was never like go to therapy, because it was like, oh, that's for crazy people, or like, why you like, I don't want a therapist putting things into my mind, like all that other stuff. But like, honestly, therapy sessions, if you have a good therapist, they will just talk it out with you.
Right. Right.
It's not them trying to manipulate you in any way. So I think the stigma of mental health and going to therapy rather has definitely improved and has gone away. And a lot of people are taking it seriously now. So we've made like big steps within the black community in addressing that and recognizing it.
Right. I do agree with that statement, to where it's more recognizable now than it was ever before. And I think people are starting to take it more serious than what it's been like maybe like in the 90s or so. But I do want to say that there is a good bit of work that needs to be done also.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, in order to make sure that we have the adequate resources needed for mental health, because it's one thing to say like, I recognize that mentally I have an issue, but it's another thing to actually have the resources to tackle those issues. Correct. So I guess my next point is, what do you think is holding people back from accessing said resources?
May I?
Yeah, go ahead. Take it away.
This is all related, I promise. But a heavy part of it starts just with upbringing and the very detrimental aspect that a lot of people will have of, I grew up a certain way, so I can't say shit.
Right.
That's not just to people that are less fortunate. It also, as you stated, can apply to people way more fortunate.
Right.
But it's all comes back to the matter of, it doesn't matter what your upbringing is. You and every single other person, rich, poor, in between, everything you feel is valid.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be shamed because of it. You don't need to think, they have it so much worse than I do. I'm not allowed to feel this, because I know exactly what that feels like, because I do that. and I'm really bad about it, and I try to not do it. But full transparency and honesty, I broke down crying a few days ago after hanging out with friends, having a great day, and on the drive home to drop someone off, me and my friend Lorenz talked about emo culture from back when we were young, like
When we were
fucking
young.
My Chemical Romance and all that shit, and just like how different the scene and the culture is when we were kids compared to now. Because like that shit's surprisingly gotten more toxic.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, it's apparently like some of the newer gen of emo kids are like way more. What's the word? Uh, segregatorial. Is that the right word to say? Because like some of them are saying like if you're black you can't be a lead singer of like a pop punk band. It's just like when did that
Oh
even fucking
yeah,
matter?
Yeah.
yeah, because you get that shit all the time on TikTok, and that's
Yeah,
why I don't
exactly.
watch TikTok as
Right.
often.
Just-
Like it's so crazy. Like black or brown person does anything quote unquote white, it's just like nope. Which is so crazy because I'm like, you know,
All that
this
matters is the
generation-
voice and the music. What does the race matter? Like
Exactly. Yeah.
like how are we going backwards? Because no one said any shit like that back in the day. It was just like, oh hey, you also like this music. It also connects to you on like a deeper
Well,
level.
I think
Come with us.
I wouldn't say that necessarily it was like people wasn't saying it back in the day. I
Yeah.
would say people had less access to be vocal about it back in
Yeah.
the day to whereas
Sure,
now,
but
you
at
know,
the same time, like I still feel like, at least from my perspective, it wasn't as bad back then in general because like a lot of people of the LGP oh my god LGBTQ
okay.
community, Jesus, also would like kind of end up meshing in with those cultures to like just because they didn't feel comfortable with themselves and they were just looking for a sense of belonging, a sense of like not being alone.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I fully fucking understand that shit.
Yeah.
Like we as young black people back then, that wasn't as much of a thing as we were really allowed to try and be a part of.
Yeah. No, of
Like
course not.
for a good long while, like I didn't see black kids being able to start doing that and not be shamed about it down here until I was like a sophomore leaving my first high school to go to my second one, and they were freshmen. So it's just like when I was a fucking young kid, like just fucking listening to 3 Days Grace and shit, I just had to hide that shit. Otherwise, like all the fucking other black kids would be like, "Oh, you listen to that white shit?" And it's just like,
Yeah.
I already had enough issues that were no fault of. To make another just clarifying statement, none of my issues with me come from any of my family. No
Right.
one did this to me. It just kind of happened.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like of course, like you know, it's hard to be in like a situation where like you're the oddball out. You like something that maybe other people might not care about and shit like that. So like the first thing they're gonna do is like insult you for it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like it's crazy because like I think I like tied this conversation in with like watching anime. Like if you watch anime back in like you know early 2000s and stuff, I remember being called a dork and a dweeb and shit for like and like niggas saying like, oh, like this nigga gonna go Naruto running and shit, you know. But it's crazy because the same niggas that you know called me this shit like are the same niggas that watch anime today. So like you know
Exactly.
it's kind of crazy how like the paradigm shift because you know people want well like as soon as something becomes mainstream people want to be like included into it. They have you know FOMO lives in all of us, you know. So
Yeah.
like you know when anime started jumping off and shit, you know you had the same dudes going like, oh shit, this shit actually look like fire, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start watching Naruto, even though Naruto was like long gone, you know, and a distant relic in the past. So like it's kind of crazy. Now, in terms of you know, I think like my mental health issues and stuff, like mine actually did stem from my family, you know. A lot of it was, you know, after my mom's passed and stuff, like living with my uncle. Literally I just kind of like in a state of where like I didn't know who I was as a person, and it was so difficult to try to reach out to him because like it's very stereotypical, but it's very true where like you have like your own family, it would be like, oh, you need to toughen up and shit, like nothing ain't wrong with you, you ain't depressed, you ain't sad. And it's like it's not true. Like, my uncle didn't lose his moms until like his early 20s. I was about 6 years old or something. That was my grandmother, and for me to lose it like at a critical point in my life, like high school and shit, like that is like it's very like detrimental. Like I think at least for me, I would say like losing a parent, especially the one that you're close to, like it hurts the most when you're in this kind of transition phase from like being a teen to actually being an adult. So it was, a lot of my mental issues come from that, but like, it didn't take, like, I didn't know that I was actually depressed until like 8 years had passed when I was sitting in therapy with my counselor, and she's like, yeah, dude, you have like, forgot what it's called. It was it's a certain type of depression, but it's like it's very like long standing. She's like, yeah, you've been having it for like even well past like before your mom's passed away. Like you've been sad for a very long time. And I was just kind of in awe because like even like the normal day to day stuff, would just seem like very awkward. Though I always thought that damn, like it was natural to just cry randomly. I always thought it was just natural to be upset, just out of the blue. Like one day I'd be perfectly fine, sunshine and rainbows and shit. The next day, like I wouldn't want to communicate with anybody. And I thought that was a natural thing. I thought everybody just have a day where they just would be hurting, and after that, like the next day, you just continue on with your life. But wasn't really the case, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of stuff like during that period that like I had to battle, stuff that like, I couldn't even confront, my my uncle and my caretakers about, shit such as like sexuality and, just, dealing with like stuff about my dad and stuff. Like, I was very much at a point to where like I just couldn't understand it. And the crazy part is it's like my first sister, I'm super close to her now, but like in the past we were very like we was literally like Tom and fucking Jerry at each other's throats. And I never really understood why she always had a chip on her shoulder. And it took me until like I like started having my issue. I was like, oh fuck, she had to go through what I had to go through, but 10 times over. And I really didn't kind of like recognize that. So it's wild. Like even when you're going through it and stuff, like you still can't discern if somebody is depressed, if somebody is going through something like mentally. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that where you can just, oh shit, my fucking depressionator is going off the charts. That nigga sad over there. Like, it's not. It's
no,
not
my
like
app
that.
says I'm depressed again.
Yeah.
Hey, depressed didn't just popped up and pinged me saying that you're depressed. So it's not one of those things that you can easily recognize. Like, there are very much days where like I'm very much like don't want to be bothered and stuff. It's like, but it's how you deal with it that kind of matters. Unfortunately though, like we don't really have like the resources to like tackle something that like for me, I'll drive. You know what I'm saying? When I'm going through some shit, you know what I'm saying, when I have a lot of shit on my mind, I would drive. Like I would find a road, and just go. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll drive to like here in Vegas, I have like little points in the city Or like I'll just park my car and just sit there and, just, cry it out, write it out, whatever the fuck. It's gonna get me through it. So it's kind of crazy because they always say like suicide is a selfish thing and whatnot. Like, you don't know how many people you're affecting but you got to look at it too, like, what could you have done to prevent this? Because every person is going to show signs somewhat about this. So
yeah, you brought up a really great point, and actually kind of reminds me of myself, where it's talking about you can't tell when someone's depressed, because I've experienced a lot of depression and anxiety mostly within my late teens, early adulthood. That's kind of where it started for me. And it might have kind of triggered similar to what Bray was talking about, kind of feeling like an outsider. Because for me, I grew up in a predominantly white community, usually the only Black girl in class. So trying to fit in. So it was kind of like I was too Black for the white kids, but also like too white for, my Black family members because of that environment too. So it was like that. And then on top of just other things going on and just, and honestly romantic relationships I was in my young adulthood and like late teenhood and stuff like that were just toxic, mostly my young adulthood. So all that came up. But as far as like not really knowing, like, oh, you can't tell if someone's being depressed, is like, for me, like, people usually see me and they're like, oh yeah, she's so bubbly, nothing's going on. But like, hell, when I'm depressed at home, like, I'm just like quiet. I want to like be to myself, that type of thing. Sometimes I will cry it out. That helps me. But sometimes I'm like, yo, I just want to be left alone. And then recently my whole battle is mostly with anxiety. And I'm trying to that's kind of my goal this year, is to find more manageable ways with it. And I'm not going to lie, a couple days ago, like I was feeling so anxious, like over the weekend, like it was so bad. Like I just was like, anyway, I'm not gonna get to it. I'm gonna get emotional, but but for real, I just had one of those moments. But like today, and even like earlier, I'm like smiling on Instagram, all this other stuff, smiling at work. You wouldn't even know that shit happened to me literally days ago.
For sure.
So you never know what someone is going through. So like, check in on people, especially right now. Like the happiest people on social media are probably the most depressed.
What makes that shit so complicated is also just like, you don't know when signs what you assume are signs are just someone having a bad day, and like the difference between it just being a bad day, because we all have those, and it being a sign. Because like sometimes people will look at me like, when I just have like a default not making any expression face, like I can easily see why people sometimes be like, oh, this nigga like looks upset or just kind of like grumpy or just like tired. It's like, I'm generally those things, but it's not like I'm in a bad mood. It's just like by default, I just have that face and I'm quiet. I'm mostly to myself if I'm not comfortable with you. So it's just kind of like that.
Yeah.
And while, yes, I do have multiple issues, like just me being quiet isn't automatically an indicator of that. It might just be you like to keep to yourself, even if you're not depressed.
Right.
So it's just hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, it's very much hard and whatnot. I think that, back on like the whole, like what you said earlier, Megan, about like not fitting in. I think that's like a lot of times that's really like the trigger for it, whereas like, oh, this person, like, living in a predominantly white community, like you would definitely get a lot of kids like, oh, they necessarily don't really fuck with you because you're Black, what I'm saying? Especially in a community where like they don't really see that too often. And then on the flip side of this shit, like where like Black people are just like, or family members are just like, yeah, you act too white, what I'm saying? You talk too white, or you're doing all this white shit. Like that, I've been told, it numerous times, because of things like really stupid, such as like not wearing like the same apparel my uncle want to wear, or like not liking the same like movies and stuff, you know. So it's kind of like, it's like, damn, like you can't win in a situation like that, you know. So
Exactly.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's very important that like, you know, people learn to like diversify themselves around other people that have like, you know, different, you know, differences and shit like that. You know, like when I was overseas, you know, like prior to leaving, I was like, oh, this motherfucker barely speak English and shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's making my job difficult. But being in China, like literally fucking opened my fifth eye and shit towards that, because it's like, you know, now I'm on the other side of the fence where like they can't
Hmm.
understand me and I'm a foreigner out here and all I can do is mumble, grunt, and fucking point, you know. So um it's crazy because like I think that people need to know like you know, where like learn how to like build a perspective around, you know, these different ideologies and stuff like that.
Just with everything, because like this actually kind of brings me to this conversation I was literally having today with some of my coworkers, and then yesterday with my mom. Is just like this whole pandemic has made everyone like depressed, anxious in some way, shape, or form. Absolutely everyone on
Oh,
this
facts,
planet.
facts.
So everyone's affected by it in some way. But so we have to have so much compassion for each other. And I know it sounds cliche, but for real, like I was thinking about this and like a customer service standpoint. And like even though I'm not in the customer service industry anymore, you still see some of that type of stuff
Mhm.
around every day. And I'm just kind of like, why do you want to treat people like shit? Because you're upset. But at the
Right.
same time, that's a trauma response. Like hurt people are hurt people.
Mhm.
And that's the really like fucked up thing about it. So I think like everyone collectively should use this time to really self-reflect. I mean, like that just helped me throughout this entire time too, is just like really think about, okay, what's going on in my life, what went on in my past, you know, what do I want to do in the future, how do I work towards that? Because like, and that self-awareness conversation you have to have yourself, it's fucking hard, like it really is,
Yes.
but it's very beneficial. And don't beat yourself up about your faults that you had in the past or even right now.
Yep. 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 So and you know, when it comes to people really like lashing out and stuff like that, like we don't know what they're going through and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it is a trying time where everyone is low key like on edge about something. You know, it's just a matter of like how you like respond to it that really matters. Cause look, at the end of the day, we're gonna have people that we're gonna talk to. We're gonna have our people that we know we're gonna act, you know, a different way towards and shit like that. Like that's always gonna be, you know, something that we have. But you know, at the same time, I think we need to be more aware of like understanding like the people around us and stuff like that. Look, I'm gonna be the first one to say it. I definitely talk shit. Like I talk shit about people. I talk shit about them in their face if they really like, you know, rub me off the wrong way and shit like that. Like that is something that I actively do. You know, at the same time, you know, I am I've been working on, especially in like the last few years or so, to being a little bit more understanding of like them. Now, of course, if you just do some dumb shit that just make you go, "Oh, you fucking stupid," then obviously, like, you know, it was warranted. But like, you know, if like you struggling and stuff and you just have like attitude, and then like, you know, a week later you're just like, fuck, like I'm failing my classes, like I don't know, I'm like stressed, and then like, you know, it's kind of like you need to be more, you know, self-aware of what that person is going through. Because I'm still very much in customer service industry, and some days I'm just like, look, leave me the fuck alone, because y'all literally getting pissed off about material shit that can be replaced, you know, majority of the time. Now I just want to I guess wrap up this topic because I don't really want to be on it too long. I think that when it comes to your mental health, it's very important that that you not necessarily figure out what the root cause of it is, but figure out that you actually have an issue. Because
Wrong front.
yeah, because like there are plenty of times where you would be, you might have depression or you might be going through something mentally, but you don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you even acknowledge it is like, the first step. Definitely always reach out to find resources. There are
Yeah,
plenty of resources
definitely.
out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Anonymous helplines too.
yep, anonymous helplines and shit like that. Websites. If you're working, maybe see if your job has an EAP, because a lot of them would give you, those resources for you to get a therapist or something like that. Reach out to your friends and your family. For that, I'd say take that as a grain of salt because,
Yes.
like, one of my biggest things I hate is you'll be alright. You know,
Or
like,
like people have it so much worse. It's
uh
like,
huh.
dude,
Or
like,
this is how I deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not
hmm
it's not it's not the same amongst every
everyone's
person.
different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like what I was even saying before too, it's just like, yeah, like that's how I deal with it. But however, figure out something that works for you that's a healthy way because lashing out at people, that probably has a temporary like fix,
Yeah.
but you're still gonna feel shitty.
Yeah.
So and you're gonna make someone else feel shitty, and that's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like honestly, like I mean, like, I hate to say it, but like, pick a hobby. Like, do something that actually like makes you happy and brings you that joy and that escapism.
Yeah.
If you don't have time to do hobbies, watch a favorite movie or something like that, or just talking it out. Like, I'm just giving out suggestions, but again, it's like a case by case situation. Just make sure you're not hurting yourself or someone else.
Yep. Very much
Mm-hmm.
true.
Yeah.
Because it's mental health is very serious stuff. Like you said earlier, we're in a time where it's very things like times are rough. What I'm saying, more people are on edge and anxious about shit. And we don't know what people are going through. So we definitely need to be more aware of these things, and then just be able to be open to receiving a helping hand, and also giving a helping hand, because you never know, like, what you might say could change somebody's day. It could change their week. It could change their life. You just don't know. But definitely you don't want to be at that point where you think that suicide is the only option. That's definitely not something that is one thing that I really want something to happen to my close friends or my family and stuff. As somebody that has tried it before, like that's not a road I want to be down. In the near future or at all, for that matter. So make sure you guys find the resources that you need. Definitely reach out to people. If you ever feeling in that dark spot, ask your job, ask your family about it. Just find the resources for it. And if you ever feeling like you're at that, if you think it's the end, or however you want to preface it, what I'm saying, there's always a resource of it. Right now I'll put the number to suicide prevention. So if you ever at that point, that's a number that's always saved in my phone. You know what I'm saying? Like I sling that thing out like hotcakes, because I was like, nope, we're not doing this. So that's something that you guys need to be aware of. So I think that's pretty much it. Once again, big condolences to Regina King and her family in this trying time. May Ian rest in peace and whatnot. And definitely stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Drink more water. Meditate, all that good jazz. Like I said, this is one topic, and probably the only topic on the show that will ever be like this serious, just because it hits home for a lot of us. So whether it's school, whether it's like home life, relationships and stuff, like it's very important that you guys take care of your mental health, because whether you like it or not, you still make an impact on someone, even if you don't talk to them. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it with that, unless y'all got something else to say.
Only thing that would complement that is just a matter of don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah. It's not the easiest thing to do. I'm fully aware, but it's like you are your own worst enemy. And if you just keep making that enemy stronger and even more vicious, then you're just making yourself more miserable. Right. It's not that simple, but you gotta try, because at the end of the day, you have to live with you. You're like, you can basically separate yourself from any other toxic relation you may have, but you cannot disconnect from you.
Right.
Unless you take that drastic option and don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and of course, if you have nobody, we here for you. So you could come holler at us anytime. If anybody knows me, unless I don't answer my phone, the only time I don't answer my phone is if I'm at work or I'm fucking sleeping. And even still, I'll probably like wake up and, see what's going on. So, if you're watching, you got somebody looking, willing to help, I guess. So
always valid.
Yeah. Yep. So other than that, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick 3-minute break. When we come back, I'll be hijacking Still the Sauce. I almost said Healed the Sauce. So, good sauce.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
So I'll be hijacking Still the Sauce this week, because we're gonna talk about Pushin P and why it's pissing me off. That's with a capital with the blue P. You know what I'm saying? You see what I did?
Can't wait to learn what this is.
Oh yeah, because I forgot you're an old man. So,
yeah,
I'm younger than you.
Mentally older than me.
All right, you might not be wrong there.
So, all right, 3 minutes. We'll be right back. Don't touch that down, or I'm gonna throw the letter P at you when I come back. So
I'm gonna pour oatmeal in your shoes. Stay there.
Delicious.
What are you eating right now? Or drinking?
I was drinking strawberry Fanta and whatnot.
Ooh.
I haven't had it in like months. It's like delicious. I finished that biscuit, by the way, and I'm still alive to tell the tale. Although it feels like I've been licking my cat for 3 hours, so that's yeah. So that's why I'm like on a vicious like drinking cycle. I'm pretty much down this whole cup.
Those are dry ass biscuits, so.
Biscuit was dry as fuck. Okay, like I'm not even capping. But let's go ahead and get into this week's Spill the Sauce. I'm gonna go ahead and go outright and say it like this whole Pushin P phrase. I hate this shit so much. It makes my like skin crawl. Like I liked it for like a day and whatnot, and then it was just like people kept saying it repetitively, and then the next day I've seen like corporate businesses posting it, and I was just like, ah! So like,
oh, that gives me an idea for some content for the business I work for. Maybe I should do a Pushin P post.
Oh my god. So
no, that'd be so cringe.
Yeah.
So for the people like me, explain what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah. So for the people out there that's been in their homes and not really listening to the radio, Pushin P.
To the radio.
Pushin P started with the rapper Gunna. He has a song on his album called Pushin P, obviously. On his new album DS Forever, which came out, I think it was this month. Yeah, it was this month. Which, by the way, I'm gonna be honest. Quick critique. This was a bad album. Like, I'm a Gunna fan, and Gunna, this was not the move. Okay, I'm just saying. Sorry, bro. Get back in the studio. You got to do better. But enough about my critique on that. So Pusha P pretty much means like player, like you pushing player, like. That's why we don't say it like all out loud, because it just sounds like
that sounds stupid.
Yeah, it's so I'm gonna read what exactly he said in this interview. He said the P in Pushy P essentially means player, as in keeping it real. As he explained it during an interview at the Breakfast Club, is primarily used in a positive way. If you wake up to a beach view, that's P. If you spend thousands on a Rolex watch, that's P. If you do something bad or stupid, though, that's not P. It's that last one. It's that last one. That's not P. That's not P at all. That's not very P of you.
Man, like the first time I saw it was through Nike's tweet.
Yes.
And I was just like, the fuck?
Yeah. So I actually do have their tweet right here that they put in the article. So they said, we had an internal meeting, and without getting into any details, we are pushing P all year. Like even reading that,
That's like hearing someone do ooh speak in real life.
Huh?
That's like hearing someone do ooh speak in real life. It's cringe as shit.
It's like ooh.
Oh no, that's cringe. And like
this?
Oh my god.
Oh no! Would you like to go to the wide whale? He's like,
why do you do it so well?
I'm a furry. What do you think?
Okay, we'll stick with that. But also, IHOP was like, we always pushing, and then they put pancakes, but it's the blue pea.
Oh, I thought that was cute, because IHOP, they are very like trolly and stuff, and like they are intentionally cringe, and that's what I like about them. Like at least like their Twitter and stuff.
No, I seen a bunch of them. I want to pull up a few tweets. Like, I saw a bunch of like Pushin P tweets. Mari did one. He did a Pushin P tweet and whatnot. Oh, let me see if I can find this tweet. It was actually hilarious. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Does that have
It's
to do
just
with pregnancy?
yeah, it says we're always pushing paternity tests. Okay, I'm not even gonna cap. That shit was hilarious. Okay, okay.
That's really funny. I
That's
like that.
like Mari is a act. He's absolutely like a god and whatnot. But
He is funny.
but it's kind of weird. This kind of segues into like my big my big topic that I want to talk about with Sweet Sauce, and that's like not everything needs to be turned into a catchphrase. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some of these things where it's like it just sounds like it's stupid to explain. You saw how hard I was trying to explain it. Like it's you don't say it's pushing player. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah, like.
No, that's stupid. You remember when people used to say YOLO and they used it for everything?
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm about to eat like fucking vagina discharge YOLO. You know what I'm saying?
Ew.
Like, bro, what?
But yeah, it did get to that point.
Or an even older one that I specifically hated worse. Remember the swag generation?
Okay, but swag is not really like it's not.
No,
really
I mean like when we were like teenagers and everyone was saying it in every other
where it's like swag.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, man, that's some swag. It's like shut the fuck up.
Nah, I used to say like, oh yeah, he got swag and stuff, but I wouldn't be like, oh man, that's swag, bro, swag, bitch. Catch me at the ballpark.
You know what makes me think about that? Every time I hear swag right now, I think about that. Okay, I don't know if y'all have seen Spring Breakers, but there's this one scene that is where like Selena Gomez, her character is like super religious, so she goes to her youth group that's like at her like college church or whatever, or like whatever. Well, it's not really a youth group because like that's not really the age, but like, you know, equivalent to that. But like the pastor is like, oh yes, I hear the swagger of Jesus, like stuff like that, and it was like it's intentionally supposed to be like cringy, like those cringy, like supposedly cool pastors. But I'm like, yo, that is like, yeah, that was like hit the nail on the head,
bro.
Like how swag turned into.
Like I feel like even when like I have just a slew of tweets right here, so just bear with me. It's gonna get cringy and whatnot, you know. But yeah, so let's start off with this one. This one is super interesting, you know. Poe is always pushing P from the Teletubbies. Yes, you can see the utter disgust on his face.
See, it's just a big joke, Dylan. Like, I think it's fun. I think it's fun.
No, I mean, I know it's a joke, but it's so like
it's cringe. It's intentionally cringe.
Yeah.
Well, like, okay.
Just a bunch of old people like, oh yeah, them kids got a new catchphrase. Let's try and monetize it. Yeah.
Low-key, this is giving me way too many ideas, but I think like my audience for my company would not get it, and that's kind of the disappointing thing about it.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't. They'd be like, "What's P? Are you talking about? Are you talking about urine? Oh my god!" You know.
And also, but the troll in me is kind of like, dude, I want to see all the reactions. I'm like, yo, no, like.
At first, I thought he was talking about Percocets, because you know.
I'm not being a troll.
Right. At first, I thought he was talking about Percocets, because I was just like, you know, pushing P,
right?
You know, Percocet. He's selling perks, so like I was just kind of like, what are you talking about? But then we cleared it. I was like, what? You know what? I must have missed the fucking memo. I must have been in the wrong office. So,
But I literally though, like I'm telling you, Dylan, I thought about like 2 possible like tweets or something I could do with Pusher P relating to the industry I work in. Like I kid you not.
That's not
I'm
very.
not gonna say anything because I'll expose my job too much. But I'm like, yo,
yeah,
that is so true.
That's not very P of you. You feel me? Like, oh my god.
P of me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the first of all, it makes the letter P just seems like really awkward, because when anybody just say P, you automatically think 2 things: urine or the actual letter. So like every time I hear people say, "Oh yeah, that's P," That's what? I'm like looking down on the floor and shit. You know what? No, there's no P right there. There's no P right there. You pushing what? Excuse me? So, yeah.
Oh, man, that sounds like a UTI, pushing P.
Oh! Imagine, bro. Imagine, like, you're just sitting there with your girl and, you know, she's like, babe, I don't really feel, like, too well down there. He's like, what's wrong? Oh, I've been pushing P. Ooh!
Ooh, gotta go get checked out. Go to the nearest urgent clinic.
Yeah, I'd been like, we're gonna get you tested right now.
that sounds like a UTI or chlamydia.
Yikes. You know, like, damn, that makes me want to become a rapper and come up with my own, like, catchphrase, you know what I'm saying?
I want to make up a dumb catchphrase that sounds like an
STD. I want to come up with a dumb catchphrase. Like, you know, our catchphrase is already, like, sauce related, you know what I'm saying? We say keep it saucy and whatnot, but, like, maybe we gotta, like, simplify it. Maybe we just need, like, 2 letters. You know, thick sauce or something. Nah, that sounds...
No!
I instantly regretted that. I don't know. Like, I'm really just kind of like, damn. Maybe we gotta... I could create a rap song and try to, like put in there, but what can we do with sauce?
We were supposed to come up with a rap song like a year ago.
That's very true. Sorry. I dropped the ball on that. I'm not even gonna cap. So, he said no. he didn't want the waffles.
Ray, you were so good.
Yeah, you were so in it. Yeah.
For waffles and pancakes.
Yeah, you was like swallow it, gobble it.
You were so good. And then
isn't that what I did the dramatic reading?
There are doors. You just need to do the backing. You need to do the sample.
Yeah.
You just loop. You just only have to say that like 3 times, and then like
you just gotta make like slurping noises, you know? Just
oh, just put your mouth right on the mic and like.
Oh my god! So like a cat drinking water. No. Shoot. I want to make that like a community thing. Like, you know, we gotta come up with a catchphrase. But unfortunately, like, you know, some stuff just doesn't stick, and people are just like, you know, like, oh, that doesn't work. So, like, for example, I was at work and one of my coworkers was like, I need a new nickname and whatnot. You know, my nickname, like, it's just literally my initials. It's something really quick and stuff, you know. And we were sitting there thinking, I was like, oh shit, Draco, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest, I'm a nigga. So when I think of Draco, I think of the blicky, I think of, you know, a gun and shit like that. But not everybody thinks like me, who is a nigga. So obviously, right like to 80% of the people that was like, he was like, oh, my nickname is Draco, and they were like Draco Malfoy from.
That's what I thought.
I was like, no, like
that was the first thing.
Boom, you know what I'm saying? So I started blasting, like, you know, like I was thinking about the actual.
Draco Malfoy doesn't have guns.
Like. I'm like, fuck, man, damn. If I would have said this in the hood, it would have took off and shit. But no, I gotta be around people that watch Harry Potter and Fantastical Beasts, okay? And somewhat supports J.K. Rowling, even though she's a transphobic bitch, okay? So, yeah. Sorry,
okay,
I got to
going off of that a little bit. I'm kind of glad I didn't grow up with Harry Potter because I never had to have that conflicting feeling about like knowing that J.K. Rowling was transphobe or learning. Like, so I'm just like, it's that part of millennial pop culture I missed out on. I'm kind of glad I did.
Man, no, like, I don't know, like, I maybe my age is showing. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm just at the point where like I'm just sick of fucking having these goddamn analogies and fucking rap catchphrases, and then, you know, niggas started saying it, and then it gets whitewashed, you know, like, and it just like,
yeah, you know, that is true though. That is true.
Yeah,
like but that's a whole other conversation. I feel like I don't know if we talked about this on the pod, but we talked about this before about like, oh man, when I heard a white person say finna, I was like, no.
Yeah, stop.
Get out.
No,
stop.
You need to say fixing too, okay? I'm finna say finna. Alright?
The
You
only
need to say,
time I
I'm
really-
fixing to not say that. Yeah, no.
The only time I've said that word genuinely is when I drove 3 hours, like going to Arizona with a friend, and we finally got there and stopped at a gas station. Like, hey, you good, Ray? I was like, I'm finna to faint.
Finsta. Oh my god. No, me fucking. I definitely. I noticed that I say it like the hardest whenever I'm pissed. So like.
Oh, yeah,
I'd be
same.
like, I'm finna whip your ass. You better stop playing with, like, it's genuine. Or, like, if anybody knows me and whatnot, if you know me, if I say, hey, let me holler at you for a second, like, that's the
Lord.
calling card of I'm pissed, okay?
Yeah.
So, that coupled with I'm finna is probably gonna be, like, something traumatic. And everybody, you know, I'm always saying some explosive shit, you know. I'm like, I'm finna fucking hang you by your toenails, or some dumb shit like that. Sorry, I don't know. So one of my many threatening catchphrases in my book of catchphrases and stuff.
I will pour scalding oat milk into your fingernails.
What's up with this oat? You said it like 3 times this show. 3 different
Twice.
variations of oat.
No, it was twice. One
No. Because he said in my
One
drawer.
was off screen.
Oh shit, that's true. I'm still counting that. Fuck that. Okay, I was recording. I was having a mukbang before the show started, so that it still counts. Okay.
Oh, by the way, we're gonna have a mukbang episode probably sometime.
Yeah,
I don't know when.
probably after like Valentine's Day, because next week. Oh, what you sent today? I really want to get into this.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I've been wanting
We're
to
gonna have a great episode next week.
I've been wanting to have a reason to talk about this nigga for a very long time. He's like somebody that I'm just like, why do people give you a platform? But we just gonna leave it at that. So next week, definitely tune in because
he has to be our first topic because we could go into that for like a fucking hour.
He's definitely gonna be. But more of the story is, I hate these fucking catchphrases, and I'm getting old, and you know, I'm just tired of it being whitewashed. Like, white people, why can't y'all come up with your own catchphrases? You know what I'm saying?
They have awesome
They're not
songs
good at it.
and tubular.
Okay, but I thought tubular was an actual word, and awesome sauce, I low-key kind of say because, you know, sauce is my gimmick, so.
Who made Pog? Was that white people or black people?
No, that was an Asian guy. Pog was made by Asian
Pog was
guy.
Asian?
Yeah, but he's been banished.
What about bitchin'? Like, this is bitchin'.
That sounds white.
That sounds white. Even though, like, I really try to resurrect that phrase every 2 years. Like, I'll be sitting down and be like, you know, it'd be cool if I start saying bitching for everything.
What about hella?
Yeah. Oh, hella black. That's definitely a black thing.
Really?
Yeah, hella is definitely like a black thing.
Oh, hella is definitely a black
Yeah,
thing.
it's definitely a black thing, you know. But no, like, damn, you know, bitching, that's a tough one. I want to research that one.
Yeah, I want to research, like, what are phrases
I want to
from,
research
like,
the
white
etymology of bitchin'.
people. And, like, how can we bring that back? We need to bring that back for the TikTok generation.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
They have enough.
They will take it upon themselves to say, like, honestly, if no,
you got.
Here's a good conspiracy theory. Like, say, like a black person says it at first, and then a white person says it, and then a white person be like, no, white people came up first, be like, no, and then people be like, oh, and then it's like, you know, whatever.
Oh yeah, it's true. Like let's rock and roll. Like that maybe like a black man said that back in like the 1950s, and the white person, you know what I'm saying? That would go well with my cigarettes, you know, and my Elvis. So go ahead and say that.
You know, when black people.
I'm just saying, if a black person said on
rock and roll.
TikTok, and then the white people will like take it, claiming that it's theirs, but even though it was originally theirs, and then they'll keep saying it.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. It happens. It happens.
It happens.
We
And I
need
think
to just
we have a small enough platform that no one will like retrace like my planning this.
Yeah.
But then
we just need
I
to.
don't know. Should we try to make bitchin' happen?
I really want to make it happen. I love saying it. Like, that's bitchin'. You see that B? Like, how explosive that is? It'll give me a reason to like call people a bitch, but not really, but like in a good way. You know what I'm saying? You know, like you know how like some females they be, you know, when they tell a man, they be like, "Bitch, let me tell you what this man," or like you know some very or yeah, that's my bitch over there. Like I want to do the same thing, but with bitching, be like, "Hey, you look bitching," you know. So yeah, we're doing away with pushing P. In comes bitching and whatnot, and the emoji is just gonna be a female dog. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm the youngest one of us three. Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Y'all make me feel old when you say some of this shit, and you're
What,
older
bitching?
than me. No, not bitching. More so pushing P and a lot of the other social
I'm
media
pushing,
shit.
hey.
Like you'll see the glazed look in my eye, just like, what the fuck are they talking about?
We're just trying to keep you woke, old man. Shit.
Woke.
See, Adele, you woke in the right term, which is like, hey, up to date, you know, type of thing.
Oh shit! Which, by the way, and when I lead us into
People are misusing woke, and it's pissing me off.
fuck. What the fuck? What do you mean I'm misusing woke?
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying other people are misusing woke.
Oh, that's fact.
Speaking of something being misused,
And woke.
sexuality and candy.
Yes, we're talking about M&Ms and why niggas are going crazy over it. And I shouldn't even wait. Hold up, scratch that. Redacted. Wow, white people are going crazy over M&Ms and whatnot because right now I don't see any niggas complaining about M&M's redesign. Okay, so
Well, except me, I'm
Well,
no nigga, probably.
I mean,
well,
you-
okay, no, this is. Let me tell you why I was complaining.
Okay,
It's
okay.
because this is a clear marketing strategy to take away from the fucking illegal shit they be doing in Africa with this fucking child slavery shit and how to make the chocolate.
Yep, so
I'm
we gonna
pissed
get
about
into-
that.
we're gonna get into
Also-
all of that.
That's a different
Also, we do not
conversation.
do politically correct M&Ms because they're fucking candy. They're
Meg,
mascots. Why
that's
do you
a-
gotta be politically correct? Okay.
That's a different. The whole African children doing the chocolate thing is a whole different conversation. Let's stick with
It
the
still kind
stupid
of
one.
pertains, but you know what?
It just pertains. It's because
Let's
it's
sti-
distracting with the marketing strategy.
Let's stick with the American is stupid angle
Okay.
for now.
Okay,
Okay.
so of course M&M's was like, shit, we ain't do nothing in a while that have us like look really noticeable and within the public eye. So you know what? Let's make the M&M's more gender inclusive and shit like that. So of course they get this new redesign, which by the way, fucking like is very minute, okay? Like the old brown M&M, which was a fucking I mean, she's still a baddie, okay? Look,
She's still a baddie.
like, she was wearing some stilettos, some white stilettos, and now she's wearing some white block platform shoes. Okay.
Actually, it's the other way around.
Wait.
You can barely tell the difference between the shoes.
Yeah,
honestly.
you can't tell the difference between. Oh, and she wore red glasses, and now her glasses are more rounded, too. Now, which I just actually picked that up.
Oh, because cat eye glasses are way too sexy.
Yeah, which apparently got Tucker Carlson and everybody down at fucking Fox News pushing their fucking panties at this one.
Pushing politics.
Pushing
When
politics.
When I watched the Philip DeFranco show that talked about that, I was like, can someone just assassinate this motherfucker already?
Yeah,
Just like,
he
please.
said on public television that he's not turned on by the M&M anymore.
I can't get a boner
you were
anymore
turned
at
off
this
before.
candy.
You getting horny over
The other
candy?
big
Like,
I'm about to say,
he,
like,
he also said that, okay, it's both offensive and kind of stupid because he's like, all these companies are trying to make these mascots so what did he say, androgynous? Yeah,
Yeah.
he said
Yes.
androgynous. You want to take them out for a drink, and I'm like, you want to take a mascot out for a drink? And also, aren't the other mascots pretty androgynous too? Like they don't.
yeah,
Like there's a lot of mascots that are pretty damn androgynous.
are you
yeah,
are you
like,
misgendering these M&Ms? What the fuck did you just say?
yeah. No, I want to read what he says about the brown and M&M. Okay, listen, you can't make this shit up. This shit is literally word for word on one of the most watched news shows on in the fucking US. Okay, here we go. The brown M&M has transitioned from higher stilettos to lower block heels, less sexy. M&Ms will not be satisfied until every cartoon character is deeply unappealing, until the moment you wouldn't want to have a drink with any of them. When you're totally turned off, we've achieved equity. Day one. Could you believe that I wasn't dicking around and like making this shit up? He really said.
You ever get the urge to just get a running start from just like 4 rooms away, charge into the room he's in, and just drop kick him straight in the chest?
Nah, I got the urge from running 4 rooms away and jumping out a fucking window. Because like
you
that
can
is
do both.
See, you can do both.
Better.
So listen, wait. No.
Kick him out the window.
What baffles me, okay, because I'm on this Instagram thread, okay, that you sent me, man. What baffles me the most is literally the next slide. It says, conservatives, women are being too sexy. Highly sexual, wet-ass pussy performance at the Grammys held as art. Conservatives, M&Ms are not being sexy enough.
I don't want to fuck my M&Ms anymore.
Are you fucking me, dude? Like, literally, like...
I mean, you're not an M&M, so no.
And it's kind of okay. And here's another thing too. One of the
Orange
articles I
M&M.
sent y'all, and this is from it's from Fox News, but they're still like, but they did kind of like talk about how they're planning on changing the voices of the M&Ms too, to be, I don't even know what they mean by like gender neutral voices. I don't know. But here's my thing too about that. I'm kind of like, why? Because I think the reason why people are getting like pissed off is because already in the 90s and early 2000s, Eminem just, they completely kind of like, they rebranded to actually have characters with distinct personalities and traits.
Yeah.
So now they kind of want to put it back, and then, in the name of being inclusive, but like no one was thinking about that. Like no one asked for it.
Nobody woke up and did one morning and was like, oh fuck, the fucking green M&M is too sexy. Holy shit. Like
no one was thinking about that. And that's the thing that's kind of bothering me, and how it's kind of like, well, I'm glad at least, they're putting the blame on the M&M Corporation and not freaking, liberals like they usually do, because I'm just like, bruh, like no one asked for that.
We all just agree like that this is the weirdest fucking timeline. We have fucking conservatives angry about candy not being fuckable. We have an entire fucking fandom of people that want to fuck cookies. Like, where are we?
This simulation is going wild.
When did we skew off into this fucky-walkie timeline? What is happening?
No, okay.
Fucking M&M. And also, what type of drink will you order for an M&M, too? Like, because
definitely not something hot.
For a drink. So, what drink will you order for an M&M?
A fucking Shirley Temple.
A Shirley Temple. And also, how do you fuck an M&M?
You melt it
how
a little bit.
How do you think you have legs?
I mean, I assume you just go for the mouth and call it a day.
That's true.
You think it'll be moist? I'm thinking about this too much.
I feel like you're gonna pull out and it's just gonna be covered in chocolate regardless of where you go.
Let me
don't look like shit.
let me read this tweet before we start dissecting the sexual anatomy of Eminem. So this man Brian Kibler, his name is funny, but he tweeted, first gingerbread person instead of gingerbread man, and now this. How is a red-blooded American supposed to know which snacks to have sex with? We are really in a simulation right now. Like, I'm fucking kidding.
That's was a troll, for sure.
Obviously, but it is so baffling that they are out here sexualizing candy. Like, now,
can I get off this timeline, please?
No. Now, they do bring up the only point that I would agree with them with is like, I feel like that Mars necessarily didn't have to rebrand the M&Ms. They were perfectly fine as they were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody was waking up and going, oh shit, you know, the green and the brown M&M, they're too fucking sexy. Like, ugly people don't feel included. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
It's
like
stock marketing. That's all it is.
it's fucking, it's wild. Like they're literally like going like, oh shit, fuck. You know, it'd be dope if we make the fucking green M&M more anxious because the fucking brown M&M is sexy. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make it less
that bitch in
sexy
sneakers.
and make it more insecure about why some people don't eat orange M&Ms even though they all taste the same. So like, it's so mind-boggling that
my favorite tweet is the one that's talking about like I don't know verbatim, but it's like. They really thought the green M&M
Orange
could be slutty while wearing Reeboks.
exactly. like they really just like, oh, she's not slutty anymore. She may wearing K-Swiss. You know what I'm saying? Let's do some motherfucking K-Swiss.
No, those
He
are like
wasn't slutty in the first place.
Bro, she was wearing Vans, bro.
She's wearing Vans / like they could also be like white Forests. You know people.
They kind of do look like
those.
Man, I'm telling you, she look, man. Let me see the green M&M with some white forces on.
She's so cute. She's so cute.
I'm asking for some chocolatey toppy, okay? Some chocolatey toppy. That that even hurt my chest to say. I'm not saying that ever again. I'm so sorry.
I was about to say, Dylan, if you say that one more time, I'm calling your wife.
I'm so sorry.
I was about to say, I'm going to call your wife and tell her
not.
we are setting up a time for me to jump you.
No, you're not. No, yeah, so but you know, you make a good point. They're really like using this to deter people from, you know, all the child labor that they're committing illegally out in Africa and shit to get these.
I hope it is. I think it is Africa. I forgot what country.
Yeah. I think
Probably
I think it was the Ivory Coast.
Oh shit! Never mind.
Yeah. Hold up. No, that's in Africa. That's in Africa.
Like Africa or South America.
God. Oh my god. Megan doesn't know geography now.
Oh my god. Explode. Let me stop. No. Yeah. That's wild. It's just
the only thing exposed here is how fucking weird people are.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they face a child labor lawsuit which accuses Mars of knowingly profiting off forced child labor.
When you said Ivory Coast, I literally thought in my head, like for brain fart, I thought Costa Rica. Like I don't know, it's like I thought like even though I know where the Ivory Coast is, I don't know why, like, when you said coast, I thought Costa Rica.
I'm gonna buy you an atlas for Christmas.
It's
no, literally was
but
for a split second.
they said they were trafficked to cocoa farms in Ivory Coast and forced to work for years without pay. The youngest boy was 11, bro. That is wild. That is wild. So while they de-slutting the green M&M and shit, they making young boys and girls, you know, pick cocoa beans and shit for no pay. Imagine going to work and not getting paid for it, bro. First of all,
especially as a kid.
Imagine as a kid. That's like your parents saying, "Go clean your room." You know what I'm saying? And when you're done, I'll give you an allowance, but it's never done. Like, like fuck, dude. So yeah, Mars, we onto your bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You can't trick us with your fucking de-slutting of the M&M. God, you know that brown M&M is bad as fuck. I'm not even gonna cap. That brown M&M is the brown M&M is definitely like, she has to be like she has to be a black chick from like Georgia or something, like Atlanta. Like, she's bad.
Stop talking.
She works at Capitol Records. I'm sorry. Look, me over here fantasizing about candy.
I think you have no room to talk about Tucker Carlson.
Okay, but Tucker Carlson is old, white, and grody. Like, you know, I'm not any of those things, so I can't talk about.
I get called weird for being a furry, and yet there's people having these conversations right now.
So, I mean,
This is some bullshit.
I'm not covering the hair. We don't talk about the.
Speaking of furries, okay.
Oh,
here's
God.
another thing. This is a mini topic. This is a last drop. This is the
Last drop. Let's go.
Oh, I already hate where
There's
this is
this-
going.
You know which one it is. There's a literal Karen that's getting like pissed off at gender neutral bathrooms in schools, and she's like, "Well, there's places that put litter boxes in bathrooms because of the furries." And I was like, "What? That's not a thing."
What are you talking about, ma'am?
That's literally a quote from this lady.
First of
I'm
all,
not making this shit up. And,
first of all,
like,
I believe you.
And the school is literally like, "No, we don't do that. What the hell are you talking about,
She's
lady?"
stupid.
Yeah, the school should just dead ass be immediately like, "Ma'am, are you on drugs right now?"
And then here's her rebuttal. They must be lying.
What the
Also,
fuck? You just said?
I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room. If you're a furry and you use a litter box, I need you to just go ahead and find an electric chair. Just please,
He said an electric chair.
electric chair.
Ain't
Yeah,
no way.
please stop. Go away. You need to not exist. You've taken it too far. That's committing too hard to the.
He's
bit.
like, I'm in my fursuit and I gotta go PUBG. So I'm about to push P, guys.
So that's the last drop.
Yeah.
It propped your last drop because that shit was news this week.
It
and it's just
definitely
like,
dropped
wow.
if you catch my drift.
Oh my god! But
Oh.
yeah, no, that was a thing that happened, and she said that in front of like the school district
Yeah. That's wow.
and stuff. So it's just like, lady, you probably got people, bigoted people your first argument, but now you're saying shit about furries.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Karen-
you literally lost everyone as soon as you brought up furries and litter boxes. Let's
Karen-
just be real.
Karens are really becoming the Florida men of like the US. I'm just throwing it out there.
They're the new Florida men. They really are.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask a question I'm sure I'm immediately going to regret after it leaves my lips. At some point, do y'all want to have an episode just talking about furries?
No.
and furry
Why
shit?
not? I talk about nasty shit.
Fuck.
There's
I want to learn.
so many
That's what I
fucking
wanna
weird
learn.
ass
Like,
aspects to it.
I'm curious. I'm just like, hey, tell me about this shit.
I can, and then we'll go from there.
What if we get an actual furry on the show?
Well, we
Like
do have
someone in
an
a
actual furry on the
fursuit?
show.
I mean, technically, I'm about to say you already have one.
I mean like an extremist, like Sonic Fox.
Like a nigga in a
he's a
suit.
furry. Like he wears
You want a
fursuit.
nigga in a suit.
I didn't say I want a nigga in specific. I just want someone in a fursuit. God, assuming the gender of a furry, bro. Come on, man. Fuck.
No, I use nigga as a gender neutral term.
I just use nigga because I love the word.
I haven't used nigga